Hi everybody, and welcome to another video. So in this video, I'm actually getting back into doing the pottery. I found that with, doing the local from here store and like how great the Ren Fair went, I actually had a little bit of money to be able to rent a space at the Clay Connection. So they kind of let you like rent the wheels and their equipment and stuff for like, just studio time. Like you don't have to pay for a class necessarily and have a teacher, but you can just have like studio time. And yeah, so I had the funds to be able to do that, and so that's where we're going to be going. I did ask them beforehand. They're totally okay with me recording, so that's awesome. And yeah, I'm just going to show you what I'm getting to. I'm really excited because I think I'm going to be able to start on the patron only mugs. So over on my Patreon, I'm having everybody vote. It's free to join, free to vote, but everybody's kind of helping me design a mug. So far, they've picked that they want kind of like a squatty round shape for the mug, and that they want the sodium silicate like texture on it. And so I want to actually get those thrown if I can, because they will take a couple of like a week, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, depending. Usually in the winter, because it's so wet and cold, it takes so much longer for things to dry. So it could be like 2 weeks before these pieces are dry enough for me to be able to trim. So I do kind of want to get that going, and yeah, that's what I'll be doing. And I'm also going to be starting on my newest collection. I'm not going to announce anything because usually I announce it to my patrons first, and also on Instagram and stuff too. And I'm not ready to make an announcement yet, but I'm going to be working on my next collection that I'm hoping to release in January. Fingers crossed we get enough stuff done that I can do that and reopen my website. I do plan on reopening my online store. I will be offering it to my online people first, and then, sorry, the sun's getting a little crazy. So I will be offering it to my online people first, and then whatever doesn't sell will be taken from here probably. A bunch of both in this video, this vlog. I'm hoping to get some writing stuff done. I'm hoping to get some pottery stuff done. But first we're going to do the pottery. Gonna go to the local studio and yeah, start some throwing. did want to give a writing update really quick. I actually got some words written today, so that was really cool. I got about 1,000 done. I might write a little bit more tonight. I'm not sure. I also have to edit video, so we'll see. But I actually did go through the book that I'm planning on working on, the Songs of Roses, the one that I've been doing, and broke down everything. So this is my binder for Song of Roses. I have like world building and all kinds of weird things in here. But the thing I wanted to show you was I actually went and broke down, this is probably going to be ridiculous because I don't have a board or anything to put them on, so I kind of just left them in my notebook. But here we go, all the sticky notes. So basically what I did is I went through and added each scene I want in the book on a sticky note. And I did this because I really wasn't sure like what order I wanted things to be in. Like I have a good idea of what I want all the scenes to be, but it's like, where do they go in the book? How do they work out in the book? It's not necessarily like a murder mystery book, but there is a like murder she's trying to solve in the book, you know, so there are clues and things and trying to figure out where they should be and how she should figure them out. Anyways, so I did actually kind of work it all out. And then I realized there was actually so many scenes I wanted to do that this book is going to have to be 2 books. I've realized. Because I kept trying to stuff everything I wanted to happen in this one book. But the thing I realized is the book will end up being like at least 700, maybe 800 pages if I do that. And the problem there is it's not, with self-publishing, it's not a good page count to start with. Like, after you've been writing in self-publishing for a while and you have enough of a market and enough people following you, you can kind of tend to up the page count number. But as like a first book self-published author, you really shouldn't start, like, it's not that you can't start with a big page word count, but it's harder to sell. It's harder to get people wanting to read it. So I thought it was better to go with splitting them in half. And actually I did like this better because, of course, I have, you know, this one. I have the first part of book 1. But then I also have book 2. Whoops, I lost a sticky note. But I also have book 2 here. And the cool thing about doing that is I think it gave me more room to be able to develop the characters better, develop the world building better, to be able to make it make more sense. Because the problem I was running into is there is a big event that happens. And I was going to have that be halfway through the book, the midpoint, right? But I felt like I was having to rush and push the end of the book to happen after that. And then there was just too many scenes, too many good character moments, too many things that just wouldn't work. And honestly, it kind of made it a little hard to believe. I know I'm writing a fantasy, which kind of means that it's kind of hard to believe. But I do like to try to keep my fantasy books at least a little realistic, a little reasonable. I feel like if you go too much into the unbelievable, then it just, you know, it's not as much fun to read, I think. And so because of this big event that happened, there was just no way that it could resolve itself in such a short amount of time. And so I think splitting the books in half and just having it be a duology, I think that's going to work better. I think it will help you care about the characters. I think it will help, you know, and it also helps from like a self-publishing standpoint, because if I go on writing the entire book, if I go on writing like this book and then have most of the second book worked out, you know, I'm able to release them relatively close together if I can, if not like have one released later in the year and the one in the next year, but like have like only a couple months in between is my hope. If I can do that, it tends to do a little bit better to like building momentum and kind of getting the audience that you want. Because I know that I will have people who are crossovers. I will have people who enjoy the pottery and the books. But I know that's not going to be everybody. So it is a little bit like me trying to make a new, or find a new audience. Like I'm trying to basically have another audience, to build another audience. And yeah, I'll have some of my other audience, my pottery audience, that will cross over, but it doesn't mean that they all will. So yeah, so I'm thinking that that is kind of the best way to go for this in this book, is kind of make it duology. And a lot of these books in this world that I'm building were going to be standalones, was kind of the plan. So this being a duology is not like that much weirder. And I'm not sure if the rest of the books from the other characters that I have planned out will end up being duologies either. I think I'll just have to cross that bridge when I get there. But I had originally planned on a lot of these books being kind of standalones, but being all from the same world. You get to know a different character in each of these books, but they all kind of take place in the same world, the same magic system, all that is going to be kind of similar. It'll just be the difficulties and things that they're having to deal with in their particular country is kind of the premise for it. So I think it'll still work with me making Songs of Roses a duology. But I do think it'll end up being a better book because of it. Having at least the first book done in 2024. And like I said, I can't really give you an estimate on when, but that's the goal, right? That's the goal. And then also I have the anthology I'm working on too, which I've actually broken down my week into certain days I'll be doing pottery, certain days I'll be writing. And so I've done that so that I can give myself days for both. So I'm not just doing pottery and I'm not just doing writing and not giving myself time for both of them. And so I do plan on working on the anthology and kind of putting the compilation of all the stories together and going through and editing and publishing that in 2024 as well. I don't think that'll be as hard. That's not me. I mean, all the writing is done. I've already wrote all these poems and short stories. I've already sent them out to people. They already exist in the universe, so it's not going to be as hard to just compile them together and have them in an anthology. So I do plan on working on that as well on my writing days, along with actually finishing this book. So yeah, that's what I got.